Akaza is a rather interesting demon, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about him. I despise him for what he did to Rengoku, but at the same time, when we learn about his past and what made him the demon he is today, it's difficult to not feel for him. Before we get started, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel as I do many Demon Slayer related content on the channel. With that said, let's just get into it. Akaza's name as a human was Hakuchi, so that's what we'll be calling him while we talk about his human life. Growing up, Hakuchi had a severely sick father, and the only way he could afford medicine for his father was to steal. So that's exactly what he did. He stole and would often get arrested. He was captured 3 times and was labeled as a criminal. The boy was told the next time he was charged, Hakuchi would bear the price of losing both of his arms. Hakuchi replied that even if they chopped his arms off, he would never stop stealing and would go as far as to use his legs to steal if it meant he could get medicine for his father. In his eyes, the world was wrong and he was in the right. As if life couldn't get any shittier, his father, who was his sole driver and motivation for this harsh life, committed suicide. It was revealed that he was the sole reason this happened. His father did not want to burden his son. He also did not want medicine bought with money that was stolen. Hakuchi, with no desire or purpose, would take this rage out on people and became a very violent individual. He was extremely strong even as a kid. He almost beat up one day 7 fully grown adults to death. Akaza, even as a human kid, was very strong, so it was no surprise he could rise up all the way up to Upper Moon 3 after becoming a demon. Akaza's life would change when he met a man named Kaizo. Kaizo owned the dojo and was a martial arts master. When the two ran into each other, Hakuchi immediately challenged Kaizo. Still, to no surprise, he was outmatched relatively easily. Nevertheless, Kaizo would make an offer to Hakuchi, the offer being to take care of his sickly daughter, which Hakuchi would accept. The daughter's name was Koyuki. Koyuki actually had a tragic life herself too. Although she was born with a sickness, her mother had committed suicide because she was sick and tired of taking care of Koyuki and became depressed. So Kaizo had no one to help him take care of his daughter, so it was a perfect fit for Hakuchi. Kaizo also had to work and needed someone to take care of Koyuki, so Hakuchi fit in the picture, you can say. He was already experienced in taking care of a sick person as he had done it with his late father, so it was no issue for him at all. Koyuki and Hakuchi would become close and would take a liking to each other. However, Koyuki always apologized, just like his father would, for being sick. Hakuchi never understood this, why the sick always needed to apologize. They weren't in control of their sickness and would always tell Koyuki not to apologize. He would even inspire her sometimes, and it was the kindness he showed her and the compassion that made her able to outgrow her sickness. One day, Kaizo gave his daughter and his entire dojo to Hakuchi and would marry the two. Finally, Hakuchi thought that his life was at peace, but that peace did not last very long, as the rival dojo, who were cowards, decided to poison the well that they drank out of, and Koyuki and Kaizo would die there and then. This drove Hakuchi to a very dark place in his life, and he would go on a rampage once again, killing the rival dojo all by himself. He was labeled to be a demon, and Muzan would approach him. Muzan heard about a particular monster who was wreaking havoc and was disappointed to find out that it was indeed a human behind it and not a demon. So Muzan right there and then offered Hakuchi to become a demon. Because Hakuchi had no reason to live and no one to live for, he accepted his offer and became the demon known as Akaza. Akaza would roam around for 100+ years, killing and would forget his human life. The only thing he was obsessed, his only drive and motivation was to get stronger. He had no idea why he wanted to become stronger. Still, all Akaza knew and remembered was a reason he needed to get stronger. We found out later that the reason why he wanted to get stronger was to protect those who were dear to him, as we would see this especially in the last moments of his life. As a demon, Akaza was always jealous of those above him, Upper Moon 1 and 2. His relationship, particularly with Doma Upper Moon 2, was the only demon we see him have some sort of a relationship. The twisted Doma would always tease Akaza and would mock him often. What's very important to also note was, even though he was a demon before Doma was above him, and Doma let him know this fact constantly, even going as far as to mention the main reason he is not strong enough to challenge him was that he did not eat women. Even as a demon, he had somewhat honor. He lived to compete and fight against very strong opponents, especially the Hashiras of the Demon Slayer Corps. Every time he fought against these mighty opponents, he offered them to become a demon. Being offered to become a demon was the ultimate sign of respect, according to Akaza, as he did not provide just anyone to become a demon. He only respected those he considered to be strong and would often ask for their names, as he did for Giyu and Rengoku. He would commit their names to memory, as it was his way of showing respect after he killed them. But all of the Demon Slayers, particularly the Hashira, every single one he faced declined the offer to become a demon, and he never understood this. Even in his final moments, Akaza was fighting until Koyuki came to relieve him of his duty as a warrior. The battle between Kyochiro showed us just how much of a powerful demon he is. At the time, we had just gotten introduced to Rengoku, and we as the audience were extremely captivated by him. Rengoku had strength, charisma, and passion. All this disappeared when Akaza arrived on the battlefield and dealt with Rengoku very easily. Their battle was legendary. We learned about Akaza and his thought process and how he approached fights. We realized he was the type of character who gets excited every time they faced a powerful foe. It was absolutely breathtaking to watch in the cinemas, watching the movie, seeing it come to life. The speed, how he moved, the techniques he showed during the fights, and the music, everything was perfect. His fight against Tanjiro and Kyu definitely had its moments, but I enjoyed this fight way more. Maybe I will appreciate the Kyu and Tanjiro fight later on when it gets animated, but for now, it has to be this fight. Akaza is a villain that will divide the entire fan base as how they feel about him. We don't know whether we should like him or hate him, and honestly, I'm in the middle. On one side, I am F Akaza because of what he did to our boy Kyoichiro, but at the same time, it's like he really did not have any options. He was dealt a terrible hand in life, and he is indeed the saddest character and villain in the series. His life as a human was filled with sadness and pain, and he took L after L, and there were massive L's. But yeah, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That's it, until next time.